Serena Williams. 5'5", super thick in the thighs. Serena went and got her a snow puppy. Serena, you could have came and hollered at King Kong, baby. I would have took care of that. Serena Williams, you could have came and hollered at King Kong consciousness. I would have took care of all that. That snow puppy you got, I know he ain't pleasing my sister. Not them thighs. No way. You're not going to tell me that that European can handle all that African black girl magic Serena Williams got. She needs King Kong driving clutch. Serena needs King Kong driving stick shift clutch black girl magic. But let us stay focused. I've been getting hit up this morning about the Blasian Bunny crisis. Black men reproducing with women of the Asian race. Black men reproducing with women of the Asian race. Most notably and allegedly, billionaire Sean Puff Daddy Combs has reproduced with an Asian. Allegedly, billionaire, bad boy, CEO Sean Puffy Combs has reproduced with an Asian woman. Much respect to the children, they belong to us. Much respect to the children, they belong to us. Much respect, blessings of protection to all the children of every race, of every color, of every mix. They belong to us. So we're not here to talk about the children. They belong to the Most High. We're not here to talk about the children. They belong to the Most High. We are here to talk about financial betrayal of the black community by mega millionaires, billionaires, celebrities, athletes, and black male professionals. I said we are here to talk about financial betrayal of the black community by celebrities, athletes, mega millionaires, billionaire black men who are reproducing with enemy races, reproducing with groups of people who traditionally have an attitude of disdain and repudiation towards African people. Now, I don't know if you've been to China, but I have. I don't know if you've been to Japan, but I have. I don't know if you've been to Asia, but I have. Our people, African people, are treated like dirt in Asia. We are looked down upon by the Asians as much as we are looked down upon by the Europeans. We are looked down upon by the Asians as much as we are looked down upon by the Europeans. Understand, overstand, and understand me right now. Before I continue, let me put some frankincense on. I am the Black Christ of this millennium. Frankincense, one of the gifts given to Black Jesus when he was born. Frankincense is the oil of Leos. Where my Leos at? Frankincense is the oil of Leos. Where my Leos at? Ori Awaju, Ori Apako, Ori Atare, Ori Ire Inu, Ori Ipanri. Gotta get that frankincense. Leo season will be here in about 9 months. Then I got some eucalyptus. This helps me activate my intellectual faculties. Ori Awaju, Ori Apako, Ori Atare, Ori Ire Inu, Ori Ipanri. And then I have some peppermint. Peppermint is real good for spiritual development. Shout out to everybody who is fasting with me. Shout out to everybody who's joining me for the 21-day winter edition of the Pan-African Fast. Dawn to dusk. Dawn to dusk as much as you can. No food, drink, or other activities. It's about earning the blessing of the Most High, earning the company of the ancestors, rededicating ourselves to African liberation and African redemption, brothers and sisters. All right. Ashe, Black African power. Where was I? I had an ADHD moment. Woo, you can get high on those essential oils. You don't need no weed. You don't need no alcohol. You don't need no cigarettes. You can get just as high on some essential oils. Get you some peppermint, some eucalyptus, some frankincense, brothers and sisters. Reproducing with any race other than your own is a form of political and economic betrayal, not because of hate. Not because of hate. Not because of hate. We as African people, we don't preach hate. We don't tolerate hate. We don't advocate hate. We do not hate. The reason it is unacceptable for black men to reproduce even with Asians, Arabs, Native Americans, Latinos. The reason it is unacceptable for African men to reproduce with Arabs, Latinos, Native Americans, Asians, Europeans is because we have too much internal reconstruction that has to be done. That has to be done. That has to be done. We have to repair self. We have to work on self. We have to empower self. You cannot do that by transferring your wealth out of the community. Look at this for a minute. How can it be acceptable to transfer billions of dollars from your community into another community for reasons of lust and sexual gratification? How can it be acceptable to transfer billions of dollars out of your community into another community for reasons of lust and sexual gratification? How can it be beneficial for a millionaire, mega millionaire, billionaire, celebrity, athlete, black men of stature, education, status to transfer your wealth out of your community into another people's community for reasons of lust and sexual gratification? I respect Sean Puff Daddy Combs. I'm still waiting for his donation to the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. I respect Sean Puff Daddy Combs. I'm still waiting for his donation to the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy. And I'm not here to delve into his personal business because I don't want nobody in my personal business. So the situation with him and Young Miami and the Asian woman, it's none of my business. I'm not here to worry about what another man does in his bedroom. I'm dealing with the political issue of the Blasian Bunny crisis. Black men who are choosing Asian women above black women as if Asian people don't have a history of hatred towards Africans. The Blasian Bunny crisis is no better than the Snow Bunny crisis. You should not be reproducing with the white. You should not be reproducing with the brown. You should not be reproducing with the yellow. You should not be reproducing with the red. I said you should not be reproducing with the red woman. You should not be reproducing with the yellow woman. You should not be reproducing with the brown woman. You should not be reproducing with the white woman. You should only be reproducing with the African woman. And if you absolutely have to reproduce with a foreign woman, if you absolutely have to put your seed in a woman who was not born on American soil, go get one of our beautiful Caribbean African sisters. If you must reproduce with a foreigner, go to the Caribbean islands. Millions of beautiful African women in the Caribbean islands. Millions of beautiful Caribbean African women. If you must put your seed in a foreign woman, go get a woman of your race from a foreign land. Go get a woman of your race from a foreign land. Go to Aruba. Find sisters in Aruba. Go to Bahamas. I've been there. Go to Bermuda. I've been there. Go to St. Croix. I've been there. Go to St. Thomas. I've been there. Go get you an African Cuban queen. I've been there. Go to Jamaica. I've been there. Go to Turks and Caicos. I've been there. Go get you a Caribbean African queen. If you must reproduce with a foreign woman, reproduce with a foreign woman of your own race. Go to Canada. Toronto is the most diverse city in the world. You can get every African woman your heart desires in Toronto. Shout out to my Toronto Africans. You ain't seen me since 2013. Shout out to my Toronto Africans. You ain't seen me since 2013. Shout out to my Toronto Africans. You ain't seen me since 2013, but I will be coming back. Go to Africa. Go to Africa. Get you a beautiful Congolese queen. Extra 5 thick in the thighs. Get you a Ghanaian queen. Get you a Liberian queen. Get you a Sudanese queen. Get you an Eritrean queen. Get you an Ethiopian queen. Get you one of those beautiful Zulu queens from South Africa. Get you one of them Xhosa queens from South Africa. That's right, brothers and sisters. Go get you a sister from the Benin Empire, from the Togolese people. Go to Namibia and get you a queen from Namibia. Go get a Malawi queen. Go get you a queen from Kenya. But if you must have a baby with a foreign woman, find you an African woman in a foreign land. For those of you who repudiate my insistence on an African family first doctrine of development, for those of you who feel that you must repudiate my insistence on an African family first line of racial development, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you Negropeans a question. How many white billionaires do you know have chosen to make a black woman their baby mama? I'm just asking a question. See, you take issue with the King Kong of consciousness, so let's flip it one time. You take issue with the King Kong of consciousness. Let's flip it. How many white billionaires have chosen to make a black woman their baby mama? I need an answer to my question. Can somebody answer the question, please? Can somebody answer the question? How many white billionaires have chosen to turn a black woman into a billionaire baby mama? I need an answer. I'm riding for black women today. I said I'm riding for my queens today. I'm riding for black women today, as I do every day. Has Bill Gates decided to turn a black woman into a billionaire baby mama? Huh? How many Asian billionaires have chosen to make a black woman a baby mama? Somebody help me out. Somebody help me out. How many billionaire Asian men in America or in Asia have chosen to turn a black woman into a billionaire baby mama? Somebody talk to me. How many Arab billionaires and Latino billionaires have chosen to turn black women into billionaire baby mamas? How many? Now compare how many non-African billionaires have turned black women into billionaire baby mamas, and compare that to the amount of black male millionaires and black male mega millionaires and black male billionaires and black male athletes and black male celebrities who regularly, routinely, and regularly turn white women, Asian women, Latino women, Arabic women into millionaire and billionaire baby moms overnight. Look at Tiger Woods. Look at Tiger Woods, a billionaire who turned a white woman into a billionaire baby mama overnight. Now, some of you are mentioning Robert De Niro being married to a black woman. So for those of you who are bringing up mega millionaire Robert De Niro being married to a black woman, I have one question. Did you see the divorce settlement? Did you see the divorce settlement? For those of you who are bringing up Robert De Niro's marriage to that black queen, they're divorced. But did you see the divorce decree? The judge did not give that black woman half of Robert De Niro's estate. I'm going to say it again. The judge did not give that black queen half of Robert De Niro's estate. She gets $1 million a year as long as she remains unmarried. The minute she marries another man, all money stops. Why didn't Tiger Woods get the Robert De Niro hookup? Why didn't Tiger Woods get the Robert De Niro hookup? See? I'm trying to get you Negroes to understand this ain't about no love. This ain't about no intimacy. You rich black men are allowing non-African women to invade our economy and rob us blind and take back the wealth of black America to their own people. They're literally robbing us through sex. This is highway robbery. The Snow Bunny crisis, the Blasian Bunny crisis, the Latino Bunny crisis, the Arab Bunny crisis. It is highway robbery. It is highway robbery. They are coming in, sleeping with our men, and walking out with the whole bag. They are coming in, sleeping with our men, walking out with the whole bag. Notice they always get a baby or a marriage out the situation. They don't just come to play around. These non-African women ain't stupid. These non-African women ain't stupid. They don't just come to play games. They coming out of that with a baby or a wedding ring. They gonna make sure they eat off of you one way or another. So for you black men who love making babies with Asian women, let me ask you a question. To you black men who love making babies with Asian women, let me ask you a question. Which one of your Asian baby mamas is fighting against the Asians who are working with the white man to push black children off of the predominantly white college campus? That's what I want to know. I want to know, where is the Asian Women Against Anti-Black Racism organization? Where is that? Where is the Asian Women Against Anti-Black Racism organization? I want to know where that's at. Where is the organization by Asian women opposed to anti-black racism? Can you show me that? Can you show me that? I remember a couple decades ago, beautiful African girl over in Los Angeles walked out of a store with something in her hand and got her head blown off by an Asian woman. Anybody remember that baby's name? Rest in peace. The little girl in Los Angeles who walked out of the Asian store with something. I don't know if she paid for it or not, but she got her brains blown out. And the white judge sentenced the murderous Asian shopkeeper to probation. I said the white judge sentenced the Asian murderous shopkeeper to probation for blowing that baby's head off. Y'all remember that? Over some orange juice. Thank you, Paula. Over some orange juice. Sister Latasha, rest in eternal peace. Sister Latasha, rest in eternal peace, got her head blown off by an Asian woman for some orange juice, and you Negroes want to reproduce. And see, not only do we have to look at the economic holocaust of you letting people pick out pockets in your bedroom, not only do we have to deal with the economic holocaust of black athletes, black celebrities, black millionaires, black multimillionaires, black billionaires letting these women pick the black community's pockets in your bedroom. See, the bedroom is a war zone. The black man's bedroom is a war zone. When you get in that bed with a woman, especially a non-African woman, you better be suited and booted. Because in that bed, you can lose everything you own. In that bed, everything you got can be taken away from you. Y'all better look at the bedroom as a combat circle. Your bed is a combat circle, because when white women get in a black man's bed, she's coming for war. When the Asian woman gets in a black man's bed, she's coming for war. When the Latino woman gets in a black man's bed, she's coming for war. When the Native American woman gets in a black man's bed, she's coming for war. She's coming to rob you and take from you through your lust. She's weaponizing your lust into a weapon of economic exploitation. She's weaponizing your lust into a weapon to strip you of your economic resources. What's love got to do with it? Tina Turner said, "What's love got to do with it?" And then she ran off and got her a snow puppy. Tina Turner said, "What's love got to do with it?" And then she ran off and got her a snow puppy. Serena Williams, 5'5", super thick in the thighs. Serena went and got her a snow puppy. Serena, you could have came and hollered at King Kong, baby. I would have took care of that. Serena Williams, you could have came and hollered at King Kong consciousness. I would have took care of all that. That snow puppy you got, I know he ain't pleasing my sister. Not them thighs. No way. You're not going to tell me that that European can handle all that African black girl magic Serena Williams got. She needs King Kong driving clutch. Serena needs King Kong driving stick shift clutch black girl magic. But let us stay focused, because it's politics over the punani. It is revolution over the romance. It is institutions over intimacy. How are we going to talk about building a black Wall Street? How are we going to talk about building Black Wall Street when we keep on transferring our money to other people's women? Somebody help me out. No black man in an interracial marriage should ever talk about black community empowerment. No black man making babies with non-black women should ever talk about black community survival. No black man dating non-black women should ever talk about building a Black Wall Street. How can you? How can you talk about building Black Wall Street when all your money is going to Asian Street, Arab Street, Latino Street, Native American Street? How can you talk about empowering us? How can you talk about empowering us when your money, listen, if Puffy got an Asian baby mom, that woman gonna have a beautiful home, beautiful car. That woman not gonna want, I'm not talking about the baby. The baby African, the baby is us. I'm talking about the baby's mama. She's gonna benefit financially. She's gonna benefit. People keep bringing up my brother Nick Cannon in this conversation. People keep bringing up my brother Nick Cannon in this conversation. People keep bringing up my brother Nick Cannon. I don't know what race Nick Cannon's baby mamas are, because I don't be in Nick Cannon's bedroom. I don't know whether Nick Cannon's baby mamas are black or not. But I will say this. If I find out that they are not, if I find out that they are not, the next time me and my brother Nick Cannon have a conversation on Cannon's class, I'm going to have to respectfully ask him. I said, the next time my brother Nick Cannon and I have a conversation on Cannon's class, his podcast, I'm going to have to respectfully ask my brother Nick Cannon to clarify. If I run into my brother, Sean Puffy Combs, I'm going to have to ask Sean Puffy Combs, respectfully, my brother Combs, my brother Cannon, my brother Combs, my brother Cannon, my brother Cannon, my brother Combs, can you please explain? Can you explain the juxtaposition? I need you to help me understand how you juxtapose Black economic empowerment by reproducing with non-African women, which leads to the liquidation of Black community assets. I love my brother Nick. I love my brother Puff. They are two of the more woke of the celebrity class. Cannon and Combs are two of the more woke of the celebrity class, and I respect them for the good they say and do. But if they are reproducing with yellow bunnies, brown bunnies, red bunnies, or white bunnies, if they are reproducing with white bunnies, red bunnies, yellow bunnies, brown bunnies, then we have to ask them. I have to ask them respectfully now. It's all about respect. Can you explain the juxtaposition of making babies with non-African women as you preach Black community empowerment? I don't see nothing wrong with asking them that question. I don't see nothing wrong with asking Cannon and Combs those questions, but I respect my brothers. I'm not going to disrespect them. I'm not going to cancel them, but I will hold them accountable for contradictions in their political discourse. I will not cancel, but I will hold them accountable for their contradictions in the political discourse. Where my black fists for my Black brothers, where my alpha males at? Where my silverback, Garveyite, gorilla alpha males? I need some black fists. Let me know you understand, overstand, and understand. I need some black fists. Let me know you understand, overstand, and understand. Where my queens at? Where my black queens at? Where my natural hair queens at? I love Sha'Carri Richardson. I love Sister Sha'Carri Richardson, the track star, 5'1", killing the track world. Shout out to Sha'Carri Richardson. But I got a request for Sha'Carri Richardson. I got a request for my beautiful black sister, Sha'Carri Richardson, killing the game at 5'1". Sha'Carri, get rid of that yellow weave, baby. I want you to go natural for all the beautiful black girls in the world who look up to you. Sha'Carri Richardson. Serena wouldn't do it. I begged Serena to take that blonde weave off. She wouldn't do it. I'm asking Sha'Carri Richardson, I love you, sister. For black girls worldwide, will you get rid of the blonde wig? For black girls worldwide, will you get rid of the blonde wig? I'm talking to my beautiful sister, Sha'Carri Richardson. I asked Serena. Serena would not do it. Serena Williams would not get rid of that blonde wig. Sha'Carri Richardson, will you do it for the black girls worldwide? Beyonce, I love me some Beyonce. Beyonce knows. Queen B, will you please get rid of the blonde hair for black girls worldwide? I'm asking Beyonce and Sha'Carri Richardson. I'm asking Beyonce and Sha'Carri Richardson, take off the blonde wig, the blonde weave, and raise the self-esteem. I'm telling you, Beyonce and Sha'Carri Richardson could start a psychological resurrection of self-esteem for black girls. Understand, overstand, and understand me. Understand, overstand, and understand me. Understand, overstand, and understand me. Now let me deal with this question that one of the Snow Bunny crisis Negroes. I need some more frankincense. I need some more frankincense. I am the Black Christ of black consciousness. I need some more frankincense, my Christ energy. Let me put some on my throat chakra. Being the #1 orator alive, I need some frankincense on my throat chakra. Frankincense, family. It's all frankincense. Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy grand opening coming soon. Let me get some eucalyptus. I am the Black Messiah of black consciousness. Jesus was born on August the 21st. I was born on August the 21st. I don't care if you don't like it. Deal with it. Blame God, not me. blame God. Now, I said I am the black Christ of black consciousness. I'm not disrespecting my Christian brothers and sisters. Let me put some in the African forest right here. Let me put some in the African forest right now, because it's all about black power, brothers and sisters. See, we don't practice racism. We don't wish racism. Black power to black people, white power to white people, yellow power to yellow people, brown power to brown people, red power to red people. But I'm all about black power to black people. I am the black Christ of black consciousness. I was sent here by my ancestors. I am a reincarnation of Jean-Jacques Dessalines. I am the reincarnation of the prophet Nat Turner. I am the reincarnation of George Jackson. Haitian Revolution, August 21st. Nat Turner War, August 21st. George Jackson War Against Mass Incarceration, August the 21st. Birth of Jesus Christ, August the 21st. I am the reincarnation of all of the great African prophets that have come before me. Not the ones from the Bible, but the ones from the black community. Not the ones from the Bible, but the ones from the black community. Not the ones from the Bible, but the ones from the black community. I don't do cults. I don't do cults, my brother Silent Crowd. Cults are mind control. I'm about liberation. That would be a contradiction. Cults are about mind control. I'm about intellectual emancipation, psychological freedom, brother. Ain't no cults. Cults and religions are about mind control. No disrespect to no religion, but cults and religions are instruments of mind control. I am an instrument of African liberation. I am the leader of the psychological revolution. I am a leader of the intellectual insurrection. I had a couple Negroes of the Snow Bunny persuasion ask me this question last week. I had a couple Negroes of the Snow Bunny persuasion. I'm going to break my fast tonight with some pecans tonight. I'm going to break my fast tonight at dusk with some pecans. What time is dusk in Tampa, Florida tonight? I think I get to break my fast right before I speak. That'd be good, so I have some energy for the microphone. Pull up. King Kong is here. Come give Papa Bear a hug. Come give Papa Bear. There's nothing like a nice, tight hug from a beautiful African queen. Woof. Those post-lecture hugs be taking me somewhere. Those post-lecture hugs be taking me somewhere. But let me stay focused. Let me stay focused. I had two Negroes ask me this question, and I'm going to ask the question and answer the question. Listen to me. Listen to me. They said, Dr. Umar, if we are the dominant gene, if we are the original people, when we make a baby, that baby belongs to the African race. What's wrong with us making babies with white girls? Aren't we polluting the European gene pool when we make a baby with a white girl? Are not we defeating and destroying white supremacy when we make a baby with a white girl? That's the question. That's the question. How are we not winning against racism when we make that white woman have a black baby? That's the question. The question is, how are we not winning against racism when we force that white woman to have a black baby? Is that not a victory for African people? Let me know when y'all ready for the answer. Let me give you the answer. Can't be having chapped lips. The Queens is watching. Can't be having chapped lips. The Queens is watching. Can't be having chapped lips. The queens is watching. So here's the answer to the question. The answer to the question: are we not winning against racism when we force a white woman to have a black child? The answer is hell no, you are not winning against racism. You are losing against racism, and I'm going to explain it to you in 3 simple principles. It is not a victory for us. It is a victory for them. Yes, the baby is black. Yes, we are the dominant gene, but it is not a victory. Number 1, according to the United Nations, argument number 1, according to the United Nations, argument number 1, according to the United Nations, Europeans will be 7% of the world's population by 2050. Europeans will be 7% of the world's population by 2050. Now, what do we know about European history? Whenever their numbers are threatened, they reproduce with their victims. Not because they are expanding their numbers, but they are expanding the numbers of Negroes who will be loyal to the white power structure. Stay with me. Yes, biologically, you are making more Africans. Psychologically, you are making more Europeans. Biologically, you are making more Africans. Psychologically, you are making more Europeans. Let's take this to the plantation. Let's go back to the plantation one time. Didn't we always outnumber the slave master? Let's take it to the plantation. Let's take this to the plantation. I'm going to make it real simple. Let's take this to the plantation. Did we not always outnumber the slave master on the plantation? Can you show me a plantation that had more white people than black people? Can you show me that? Show me a plantation that had more. We've always outnumbered the slave master. We've always. So if black people always outnumbered the slave master, how did the slave master remain in control? If we always outnumber the slave master, how did the slave master remain in power? You know how he remained in power? You know how he kept control? Because he kept a loyal group of house ninjas. He kept a loyal group of house ninjas. He kept a loyal group of house ninjas around whose job was to control and patrol the field ninjas. So what are you saying, Dr. Umar? That mixed race child that you making with that non-African woman, that mixed race child that you are making with that non-African woman will be an organic spy of the white power structure against their own people. That baby you making with that Asian, that baby you making with that Latino, that baby you making with that Native American, that baby you making with that Asian will be a natural spy and ally of their mother's people. They're not going to be loyal to black people because black people are not even loyal to black people. They're not going to be loyal to black people. They're going to be loyal to the flag of China, the flag of Japan, the flag of Korea, the flag of Vietnam, the flag of Britain, the flag of France, the flag of Germany. That's what they're going to do. So you're not winning, brother. We losing because you keep on producing house ninjas for the slave master. All you snow bunny Negroes, you are producing house ninjas for the slave master. Now, some people are going to push back and say, wait a minute, Dr. Umar, are you accusing all mixed race Africans of being sellouts? Absolutely not. I would never do that. I accept mixed race Africans the same as I accept all Africans as long as they identify with the race. I accept mixed race Africans just like I accept all Africans as long as they identify with the race. But history has taught us. History has taught us, history has taught us that a sizable percentage of mixed race Africans will always be loyal to the other blood in their body. History has shown us that the mixed race African Barack Obama, history has always shown us that the mixed race African Barack Obama, history has shown us that the mixed race African Barack Obama, in many cases, but not all, is more likely to be loyal to that other blood in their body. So we are not winning by producing all these mixed race, psychologically confused children. I'm not calling my mixed race Africans psychologically confused. I want my mixed race Africans to hear me well. I'm not indicting you. I'm saying this. This is what I want my mixed race Africans to understand. This is what I want my mixed race Africans to understand. When a black football player, basketball player, celebrity, mogul, millionaire, billionaire, these are entertainers, celebrities. They are on the road all the time. Their life is on the move. They will not be home to raise those children. Sean Puffy Combs is on the move. Nick Cannon is on the move. You understand? Most black men are on the move, getting their hustle on, building their legacy, their career. They won't be in the house. When the Chinese woman tells the mixed race Chinese black child, black people ain't shit, they won't be around when the white mother tell that mixed race black child that black people ain't shit. They won't be around when that Latino woman tells their black child black people ain't shit. They won't be around. I want y'all to understand, overstand, and understand me. I want my mixed race Africans to understand me. The mother is the first teacher of a child. The mother is the first teacher of a child. The mother is the first teacher of a child. So if the mother is the first teacher of the child, if you have a baby by a woman of another race and she's teaching your child and you are not around when she teaches your child, you are not around when she teaches your child, you are not around when she teaches your child, and she is a racist herself. She thinks she better than black people herself. She hate black skin. She hate big nose. She hate big lips. She hate black people. You don't think she not gonna put that in your baby? Can you marry your Latina girlfriend? Here's what I'm going to say about the Latina. Because Latina is a culture. It is not a race. Latina is a culture. It is not a race. You have African Latinos, you have white Latinos. You have African Latinos, you have white Latinos. You have African Latinos, you have white Latinos. So you can't marry a white Latino. That's a snow bunny. That's a damn snow bunny. So let's talk about the African Latinos. Let's talk about the African Latinos. Can you marry an African Latino? It depends. Does she consider herself a proud member of the African race? Let me say that again. Does she consider herself a proud member of the African race? Shout out to my Puerto Rican Africans. Shout out to my Cuban Africans. Shout out to my Dominican Africans. Shout out to my African Latinas who proudly identify with the African race. And let me say this to my African Latina sisters, because I love y'all. I treat y'all all the same. One people, one family, one race. I love my African Latinas, but I do want to say this to my African Latinas. And when we open up FDMG, we got to have a American African Queen, Latina African Queen Convention. Because some African Latinas who proudly claim African heritage think they're better than American African women. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it again. I'm talking to my African Latinas right now. I'm talking to my African Latinas right now. I'm talking to my Puerto Rican African queens, my Dominican African queens, my Cuban African queens. Some of y'all, even though you proudly claim your African heritage, some of y'all think y'all better than American African women. I'm going to call a spade a spade. I don't care who don't like it. I'm going to call a spade a spade. I don't care who don't like it. I'm going to call a spade a spade. I don't care who don't like it. Now, for my African Latina queens who proudly claim their Africanity, who wave the red, black, and green, for my African Latinas who got that red, black, and green flag, who don't think you better than your American African sisters, you family to me. You family to me. To my African Latino brothers who got the red, black, and green Garvey flag, who proudly claim membership of the African race. If you don't think you better than the rest of us, I accept you. And I consider you no different than nobody else. But we got to be honest, my Latina family. We got to be honest. There's a very strong light skin supremacy thing going on amongst the Latina family. It's in the black family too. Don't get me wrong. It's in the black family too. Don't get me wrong. But amongst the African Latinas, y'all got it a little worse than we got it. And sometimes that yellow skin starts brainwashing you into thinking you're not an African. I'm just dropping bombs. I'm still coming to Puerto Rico because my Puerto Rican Africans want me down there. My Puerto Rico Africans want me in the El Barrios of Puerto Rico. I'm coming to the El Barrios of Puerto Rico, and I'm coming to the Dominican Republic to build with my Spanish-speaking African family. African Latina is still African as long as you don't think you better than other Africans. So back to this whole issue of having babies with white girls is a victory for black people. No, no, no. You're creating more slaves for the white power structure. White folks are going to be 7% by 2050. If they're going to be 7% by 2050, they're going to need allies. If they're going to be 7% of the world by 2050, they're going to need allies. If they're going to be 7% of the world by 2050, they're going to need allies. And what better ally to have than a child who is part you anyway? See, my issues with the Puffies and the Cannons, no disrespect to my brothers, and I don't know their situation, and it's none of my business outside the politics. You're not going to be home to instill a strong African identity in those mixed race African children. Black NBA basketball players with mixed race African children, you're not going to be home to instill strong identity. My NFL black players making babies with non-African women, you're not going to be home to build a strong African identity into those children. My problem, not only do you rob us economically, you rob us culturally. When you make babies outside the black community, you rob us economically and you rob us culturally. You take the money out and then you take the identity away from the child. You take the money out and then you take the identity away from the child. You take the money out and then you take the identity away from the child. And so now you got this black child, Naomi Osaka. You got this African baby, Naomi Osaka. And I'm just picking on you, sweetheart, because you've been standing up for black people. So I got love for Naomi Osaka. I got love for Naomi Osaka. She heard Breakfast Club interview number 5 and she got her mind right. Much love to Naomi Osaka. Last time I checked, she was repping African people. Shout out to Naomi Osaka. Last time I checked, she was repping African people. But hypothetically, you take Naomi Osaka, who played for Japan in the Olympics, right? I believe it was the Olympics. How are you going to rep a non-African people with African DNA and African talent. This is the problem with the mixed race crisis. You make a baby who got African DNA, African spirituality, African talent, African gifts, and then they go and rep a whole nother people. They go and rep a whole nother people. That is nothing but betrayal. How are you going to put our DNA in another woman, our genetic code in another woman, our African God's gift in another woman, and then this black child grows up and use their black talent to benefit a non-African people? Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. I'm still waiting for y'all to tell me a white billionaire who made a black woman into a billionaire baby mom. See, black money and white money have two different personalities. White money ain't turning no black woman into no billionaire, but black money will turn a white woman into a billionaire. Black money will make a billionaire out the brokest Chinese, the brokest Latino, the brokest Native American, the brokest. Black money don't discriminate, and that's the problem. Black money doesn't discriminate, and that's the problem. Black money doesn't discriminate, and that's the problem. Black money, white money discriminates. Asian money discriminates. Latino money discriminates. Arab money discriminates. Oh yes, everybody's money discriminates, not black money. We will put our seed inside of any woman and make her a damn millionaire for sex and lust. We will put our seed inside of any woman and make her a billionaire over sex and lust, my brothers. So what do you think? Should Negroes married to non-Africans receive a portion of our ancestors' reparations? I want to know what you think. I want to know what you think. Should Negroes married to non-Africans receive a portion of the reparations? Because you know what's going to happen? And you know my position on cash payment. Cash payment is a trap. Cash payment for reparations is a trap. But let me tell you what these non-African women going to do. They going to sue these black men for their reparations for child support. I'm telling you right now, listen to me, black men. Listen to me, black men with non-black baby mamas and wives. Listen. Have you ever heard of child support court? Have you ever heard of child support court? Is there any black man watching this who has heard of child support? Because if you have heard of child support, I need to put you down with something right now. For you cash payment proponent Negroes. For you cash payment proponent Negroes. Guess what they gonna do? Let's take California, $233,000. How much you want to bet? If you owe child support, I bet you. Who wants to bet me this? Who wants to bet King Kong? If you owe child support, your reparations is going to go to your white baby mama, your yellow baby mama, your brown baby mama, and your red baby mama. They going to get the cut off the top. They going to get their child support right off the top. How much money you going to have after that? And then they might say, since you didn't pay your child support in the past, we have no proof you're going to pay your child support in the future. Since you didn't pay your child support in the past, we have no proof you're going to pay your child support in the future. Since you didn't pay your child support in the past, we have no proof you're going to pay your child support in the future. So since you didn't pay your child support in the past, and we don't have no proof you're going to pay your child support in the future, we're going to take out child support payments until your baby is 18. So they're going to add up child support due to your child because you didn't pay it in the past. They're not sure you're going to pay it in the future. So they're going to say you're going to pay all the remaining child support. You're going to pay all the remaining child support. You're going to pay all the remaining child support until your child is 18. How much money you going to have left after that? Cash payment Negro pens. How much money you going to have after that? Cash payment Negro pens. I don't call mixed race African brothers and sisters mulatto. That's a derogatory word. And let me say this to the mixed race African who don't want to be called black. You want to be called biracial. Let me clarify this. Let me explain to all the mixed race Africans why you want to be called biracial instead of black or African. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. I remember I was in Manchester, England for the anniversary of the 1945 Pan-African Conference. I remember I was in Manchester, England a couple years ago for the 1945 anniversary of the Pan-African Conference, the 5th Pan-African Conference. Shout out to my UK Africans. I will be coming back to the UK. UK Africans, King Kong is coming back. Stay with me. Australia, where is I done got a dozen invitations from Australia. It ain't nobody finalized. What is going on with DR.UMAR in Australia? Can somebody help me understand why King Kong hasn't been to the land down under? Australia, you are preventing me from perfecting my global continental tour. Australia, what is going on? I've gotten a dozen invitations from Australia, but nobody has finalized the tour yet. When am I coming to the land down under? But I digress. I digress. To the mixed race African, why you want to be called biracial? You look black, you are black, you got black DNA, black talent, but you want to be called biracial. Do you know why you'd rather be called biracial? Because you have no pride in your African self. You have no dignity in being black. You see nothing worthwhile about the African race for which you would want to identify. The reason you want to be called biracial is because you want to walk the fence. Biracial Africans, so-called biracials, are fence walkers. I said it. Any mixed race African calling themselves biracial is a fence walker. You know why you want to be called biracial? Because you want to act black when it's convenient. You want to act white when it's convenient. For you Blasian Africans, you want to act black when it's convenient. You want to act Chinese, Japanese, Korean, and Vietnamese when it's convenient. Oh, yeah. Yeah. For you mixed race black and Arabs, you want to be black when it's convenient. You want to be an Arab when it's convenient. Black and Jewish, you want to be black when it's convenient. You want to be a European Jew when it's convenient. The only reason why mixed race Africans want to be called biracial is because you want to walk the fence. You don't want to choose a side. If it benefits you to be white, you're going to hang with them. If it benefits you to be black, you want to hang with them. And that's why I do not accept mixed race Africans who prefer to call themselves biracial. You're not playing that game with me. You're not playing that game with me. I will accept mixed race African. I'm not accepting biracial. You are a fence walker and a racial opportunist. You want to play both sides. For black men making babies with Asians, did you know Asians once sued to be considered white in this country? Did you know that? Did you know that the Asians sued in federal court to be called white? And they even argued that they should be called white because their skin was as pale as the European. If you don't believe me, do your research. If you don't believe me, the Asians sued in federal court to be called white. And when they were told that they were not white, they said, my skin is just as pale as the European. And guess what the court said? Guess what the court told the Asian when the Asian said, we are white too? Guess what they said? They said, you might be Caucasian, but you ain't white. Lord have mercy. Lord. This white man is something else. This white man, you got to give it. The white man told the Asian that you might be Caucasian. Because remember, they all come from the same continent. Everybody is family except the African. Everybody is family except the African. They all come from continent Asia. We are the only people that don't come from continent Asia. The Arabs come from continent Asia. The Native Americans come from continent Asia. The white man comes from continent Asia. The East Indians come from continent Asia. Everybody is from continent Asia except the original man and woman. Everybody is from continent Asia except the original man and woman. Africans, we're the only ones who not from Asia. They are all family. That's why the Arab is a white man for purposes of the U.S. Census. The Arab is a white man for purposes of the U.S. Census. They all family. The federal court told the Asians, the Chinese, your skin might be pale. You might be Caucasian, but you are not white. In order to be considered white, you must be from the tribes of Europe. And since you are not from one of the tribes of Europe, you cannot be white. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. And then the Latinos did it. African Latinos fought to be called white in America. Yes, they did. Mexicans fought to be called white in America. Yes, they did. The court cases are there. Go do your research. The court cases are there. Mexicans sued to be white. Chinese sued to be white. African Latinos from Cuba, Puerto Rico, and the Dominican Republic came to America, and they also tried to get white status. And the white man told the African Latinos, your ancestors are from Africa. You are no different than the black people here. But because you don't want to be black, and we can benefit from separate and rule and keeping you guys separated from your other African brothers and sisters who built this country, we're going to invent a word just for y'all. And that word is Hispanic. That word is Hispanic. That word is Hispanic. That word is Hispanic. In 1970, the U.S. government added the word Hispanic to the census for Spanish-speaking Africans from Cuba, Puerto Rico, and the Dominican Republic who didn't want to be seen as black, didn't want to be called black, so they gave you the word Hispanic. Why is this relevant for black people? Why is this relevant for black people? Why is this relevant? It's relevant because black people be trying to hide under this generic people of color label. Black people love to hide under this generic people of color. Well, I want Negroes to understand that all those other people of color, all of them tried to be identified with white. Nobody has ever come to America to try and identify with blacks. So I'm trying to understand why black people still running around talking about people of color. How can you call them people of color when they wanted to be called white? How can you call them people of color when everybody else wanted to be called white? Mexicans wanted to be called white. Latinos wanted to be called white. Chinese wanted to be called white. Arabs are called white. Arabs are called white in America. And we up here talking about people of color, our brown brothers and sisters, our yellow brothers and sisters, our brown brothers and sisters, our yellow brothers and sisters, and your brown and yellow brothers and sisters ain't took a stand for you yet, but you want to keep on planting your seed, committing economic betrayal, financial sabotage of your own community by reproducing babies in the women of other races, stealing our money and stealing our African magic and giving it over to another people. How in the hell is that a victory for us? Stealing our money and stealing our African magic and giving it over for another people. How can that be a victory for us? And let me say this to the jealous Negroes who be sliding in my DMs, worrying about me and the queens, hugged up with the queens. He's always around the queens. The reason black women love Dr.UMAR is I fight for them. I stand for them. I help them with their children. I'm building institutions for the babies. So rather than being jealous of me, why don't you go build an institution and help our women with their children? How about you go help? I'll get some doctorate degrees and some master's degrees and help our women navigate the mental health and educational system for our children. See, you and me are not the same. I keep telling you, jealous Negroes, you and I are different. And to the entertainers out there, I saw some of y'all throwing dirt on my name because my Breakfast Club interviews get millions of more views than yours, and you are platinum selling rapper. You know why my Breakfast Club interview get millions more views than you, even though you done sold millions of albums? You know why? Why am I king of the Breakfast Club and I'm not a rapper? Why is Dr.UMAR king of the Breakfast Club and I'm not a rapper? Why am I king of the Breakfast Club and I'm not an actor, I'm not a singer, I'm not a dancer, I'm not a comedian? Why am I king of Power 105.1 and I am not an entertainer? Because I am the Black Messiah of Black consciousness, sent here by John Jacques Dessalines, Nat Turner, George Jackson, Black Jesus, to finish